What would be different ways to get playlisted on Spotify outside of Submit Hub?
If you knew, you would know.
Well, you can pitch to Spotify directly. That's
Yeah,
something.
but who knows how it works, man? Don't get me started. It's a shit world.
We just
don't
open a
know.
can. We just open a can of frustration.
Yeah,
No,
we have
it's
drunk Ralph on
it's
the
a
phone.
coincidence
Let's go.
game, man. People. I mean, they're a bit of gatekeepers. They're all about data. It's data driven. It's not about the music. If you're a no name, it will be harder to get the playlists. You either have to get some virality outside of Spotify and sell it to Spotify that it will be in their best interest to give a spotlight on your track. But I mean, just think of it. Not all the big DJs make great music all the time, but their music will get a spotlight all the time. And it's through the data that they will lose the spotlight. So if it's a shit track, it won't do so well because they will lose the spotlight at some time. At some point, because people just will skip the track. Spotify wants people to be on their platform the most of the time. Most of the people aren't invested in music. They just, they scratch the surface, and that's why bigger names will sell easier than the smaller names. That's how it works. You have to work hard to become one of the big names, but it's also, as you notice, a little bit frustrating, because if you do get the virality on your tracks, it doesn't say anything. And then what's also frustrating is when you see a lot of your own fan base play the track, because that's also not always the case. But when you do see it, it's at that point that Spotify will think like, okay, let's playlist and see how other people will react to it. But it just makes you tired, you have to prove so many things before you will get the favors. And whereas others who made it at some point, or I don't know what, they will get those favors more easily. And that will, then the status quo of people who are big will stay big. That will stay in place that way.
The self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, it's how it works. And I mean, if you're a big artist and don't get a lot of plays on your track, man, you fail big time, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like
although,
it's
if
like
you
Mike
like the track
Posner.
yourself, it's okay too.
It's like Mike Posner from Took a Pill to Ibiza. He said like when he just started out, he had like a triple platinum record. So it wasn't too much about streams yet, but sales, streams, kind of same.
Was
and
that
then
before I Took a Pill?
Well, some of his records, one of his records went triple platinum or something. And then the next record and the one after that went only one time platinum. And then the label was like, this is the decline. So they kind of like stopped paying real attention to him. And that's the same with, like Spotify. If you score a hit and it's like the next one doesn't do as well, it's always a decline. And then they look at the numbers and go, oh, well, that's a decline. So that's, and then it just can go downhill from there.
And I, to be honest, I can't even blame Spotify. I get it. They also have a business to run, and they're not the promoters of music. What I do, or what I'm really displeased about, is whenever a track of yours does well, there's a lot of people, the distribution, the label, whatsoever, standing in line to say, hey, look at this success, look how well we did. And when it doesn't do so well, hey, and then they're quiet. And it's about, the weather was not in favor of the track, and it's all these external things. That's but it's just a coincidence game, especially when you're not one of those. I mean, we make a bit of harder style music. It's not per se in favor of streaming. We get that. I know it. And so if Spotify thinks, hey, we're not gonna playlist base checkers or may only in those lists, we're a bit of a niche, and then you get not so many streams. I get it, but it's just the labels take 60% or more of the chunk of the pie of the revenue, and I cannot rectify that anymore because it's such a coincidence game. Then you might just, here it is, self-release.
Oh,
And,
hey, there we go.
and
I missed my cue.
Yeah.
It's too long. That sample of the clap. Oh, you can stop it. Nice.
I can stop it. Yeah.
But they do have a fan base, most of the labels, and it's always wise to tap into that. But I wouldn't sign a how do you call it? An exclusive deal with a independent label.
Yeah.
No.
Because they cannot guarantee you that they will get the streams.
No, exactly.
And not much.
The amount of clients that I have who come in and say like, I finally signed that spin-in, for example, after years of working to get there. I finally signed there, and now I'm left with this 10,000 streams on my track. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, okay. I get it, but still, I mean, to cut some slack for spin-in or whatever label, that's not how it works. And spin-in would only be in the wrong if they would sell you that it works to sign with them and you will get the streams. But they also just don't know. And in my opinion, the whole system that you sign it away for 12 years is just wrong. Because if it doesn't get streams, they will just do nothing about the track anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, Ralph's recording stopped.
Due
to an
stop, but
incoming
I
call.
think you. Oh, he's back. Is he back?
Whatever TikTok, am I back?
Yeah, did you get an incoming call?
Yeah, I got an incoming
You
call.
said you said something about if the streaming doesn't work, and then what?
No, let's say you sign away a track. It's for a minimum of 12 years, usually, maybe even 15 or 20. And, if you don't get the streams, they will do nothing about the track anymore. Maybe it will resurface at some point in a dumb TikTok or whatever, and it will become a hit. But that's something you don't know. And I'm actually convinced that my music will work. And let's say a year later, some music is just more timeless than the other. But then your rights are gone. You can invest yourself in the music to be heard. But why? I mean, they getting a 60% chunk of the money. And that's just a wrong dynamic, in my opinion. And that has to be renewed. That if a track, I tried it already, but didn't work. But if a track will fail, or you get a performance quote in there, like, okay, can you guarantee me to get 100,000 streams in 1 year? And if they say yes, and they will make it, they can have the licensing for 12 years. But if they don't make it, give us back the license and we can market it ourselves.
I think partly the reason is a financial one, because I think there's always like certain revenue streams, and also in publishing, that they're not really allocated to certain tracks, and there's just money being left on the table. And then the more tracks you have in your catalog, the more part of that chunk you will get. And I think that might be part of big labels just keeping all their catalog in, even though it doesn't bring in any money. There's always...
And also the fact you just don't know, something can resurface.
Also
let's say 4 years.
Yeah. But I agree with you, Ralph. It should be like, hey, you tried your best, spin-in or whatever label for 2 years. It didn't bring any revenue. Now let me take back control and I'll do it myself.
Yeah, because to be honest, spin-in, our best streaming tracks are spinning tracks, Wrong or Right and Eternity. So get Badmouth spin-in, to be honest.
No, it's not so much spin-in. It's more like the industry is working in a way that could change, or would be better for artists if it would change.